We'll start the meeting with the pledge of the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome everybody to the July 20th, 2023 meeting. We'll start the activity with a motion to approve the village board meeting minutes from July 6th, 2023.
Moved.
Second.
Any questions, changes? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Citizens' comments. Okay. Seeing none there, we'll move on to trustees' comments. We'll start with Nate.
Stick to the agenda tonight.
Ruth?
Agenda, please, thanks.
Mike?
So thank Nate for not telling us how bad the Yankees are.
We're in first place in the Central. First place in the Central.
And are you going to mention Margarita Fest?
Okay.
I don't want to. You're going to.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the winners of Margarita Fest, which was a great, wonderful day. The weather was perfect. First place margarita was Angry Smokehouse. Second place margarita was San Miguel's. And third place, for I think the first time they've placed, is WT Brews. It was a perfect, wonderful day. The volunteer center is just elated. We've got real good feedback from all the participants that they're excited for it next year. They've already got it on their calendar. I didn't get a chance to talk to Chief, but maybe Jason can tell us, was it a quiet night?
No, but it had nothing to do with Margarita Fest.
Okay. Good.
Shep asked me if I had taken a ride around the village, and I did. My wife and I took a ride and covered everywhere we thought there was somebody who was participating. And it was really cool to see clusters of 8, 9, 10, 12 people walking across the bridge and people laughing. And then we got, it's the smokehouse, there was like 200 people.
Yeah. There was 625 passports sold, and quite an arbitrary number. But I would have to gather that there's 1,500 people, would you say, in the village? Maybe close?
I don't know.
Megan wasn't counting, but there was quite a few people.
Yeah, and there were people everywhere I looked.
There wasn't, I'd say, but a lot of, none of the overhearing and feedback stuff. We had some new participants this year. They didn't even know these places existed. Like the Orange and Olive was one that people said, this place is wonderful. I didn't even know it was here. Or, believe it or not, BG1, which is right on the corner. There were people who didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I've never been in there yet.
Yeah, so it was real nice. And we really appreciate all the people participating and look forward to it next year.
That's great. Good job.
It was fun.
And it's an organization that does a good job with everything they do anyways, the volunteer center. So
Yeah. And thank you to Ruth for volunteering today. She was at sales, and it looks like they're getting close to getting the second half of their restaurant open, because they were serving out of.
yeah, it was kind of funny.
Hoping by Labor Day.
Nice.
So.
My wife said, that's a good way to do it. You
Yeah,
gotta-
it was great. It kept them somewhat cool,
Yeah.
and it didn't push people into the road, which I was a little worried about. It kept them able to serve the food inside. It was good.
When you think about the things like this that we offer, you know, with the Au Chocolat and the other events around the village, and people get to take part in, and I'm very pleased that we offer that much to the community.
Well, I was thinking, and I do a lot of thinking when I'm playing that, watching it, trying to call some, that I don't know of any other village that could pull that off. Is there any other walkable village that has that many places that close in proximity where you could have 17 different places to stop, all by foot?
It's exactly what I said to my wife. I said, look at North Syracuse. It's on Route 11 from, like about 9 miles.
Yeah, you couldn't do
We
it.
couldn't ever do it. Salve, same kind of, Milton Avenue was all spread out.
Yeah.
Liverpool, you'd have people crossing over 48 and 370.
But
Or 57 and 370.
there might only be three or four places
Yeah.
that you could do it. So I just a very unique village that we're real lucky to have all of those great places in such a small proximity that we can hit them by foot in 5 hours.
Good job. I didn't hear a negative except for one person who lost something who thought the village was very bad for letting it get lost.
Hopefully they found it. Hopefully they found where they left it.
All right, thanks, Shep.
Yep.
Eric?
Just have to add an agenda item to reject the fluoride bids, so we got 2 of them that came in too high, so just add that to the agenda.
Okay, so that,
The rest of the agenda,
under new business, it's item A. Okay. Okay, Megan,
Just the agenda for me.
Bruce,
Now that there is an agenda, I'll stick to that.
very light agenda, yes. Got a couple things. Our kayak facility is in place. I sent a message to the people, the woman who's our contact. I said, can you tell us how busy it's been, and does somebody maintain it? Because, you know, I've said to my wife, somebody goes out and dumps it over and comes in, it's all wet and got seaweed on it, the life jacket's wet. And there is somebody who, I don't know if they come every day, but whoever installed it is responsible for the upkeep. So there is a level of maintenance. And she said, as of yesterday, there have been 18 rentals. There's only 4 kayaks in the lockers, and I went down the next day after it was installed, and 2 of them were out. Chuck said he went down there, all there, but that Danny had been down there and 3 of them were out. So people are using it, which is good. I'm still waiting to hear if they're gonna give us a little credit because they had given us a price for the year and we missed a whole month before they got it installed. So it'd be nice if they would say, well, we'll knock 10% off what you gotta pay or whatever it might be.
and Mayor, there are life jackets down there, I don't know if people are aware. It's got everything you need, life jackets, the paddles, everything, so.
Just use a little common sense when you get out on the river, especially if you've never used a kayak. That can be a little tippy. But it's a nice area to go, and I was saying to Chuck, there's people that don't necessarily want to go down a lake, but if you go along the river, there's all those inlets that they really go nowhere. But back in there, you're probably going to see snakes and turtles and frogs and, all kinds of
Beavers.
birds and stuff. So, you take a nice ride and not have to go very far. I don't know, you guys all get a copy of the code report?
Yes.
Because I'll tell you what, better get a drink and sit down and, today was 24 pages and it's full of code stuff, and our new guy is pretty efficient. I kind of like what he's doing.
I found it very entertaining.
Yeah, it is. Some of the reactions some of the people have. Chuck, I see that the fireside, redoing that line under the fireside is all taken care of.
It did, yeah.
Great. Thank you for pushing that on that all along.
We've been pushing for that for 30 years, and the town stepped up and finally, I think with their opera money, got it taken care of, and it's just bypassing now.
Beautiful.
That's working.
That's good news. There is apparently an issue with graffiti around the village, not just underneath the bridge, but somebody posted and said on the back of Timeless Tattoo, other places, the empty liquor store. So we can use help. If you see somebody that looks like they're getting ready to pull out a can and start spraying, call 911 and give our guys a chance to catch somebody. It's a shame people feel the need to mess things up like that. Got a report Monday on the water chestnut. I don't know if you're not on the river, you might not pay much attention, but water chestnut's a huge problem on our river. And to date, they have pulled almost 140,000 pounds of water chestnuts, and they've just really gotten started with boats. And what they're doing, they take it afterwards and they go to the Horrigan farm in Elbridge and Emmy's farm on 370 and apparently spread it on their fields, and it dries and decays and it's a good fertilizer. So otherwise they have nowhere to go with 140,000 pounds of dead water chestnuts. So if you're looking for fun sometime, they like to have volunteers come down and help pull stuff out by hand along the shore. If you got a kid who's bored, might want to help. Chuck's crew put down some new stone over at the visitor center, so the walkways up to the porch of the visitor center now are much neater looking. Appreciate that, Chuck, thank you. And I had sent a message earlier to Bob Wicks at Lysander about the vote on the Mills Road Water District. And the vote was 17 no, 12 yes, and 4 no-shows. So I'm assuming that means when you have more people vote no, that it got turned down. I haven't seen it put into words, but that was an interesting issue. And that's all I have. Move on to department heads. Our attorney.
I'll stick with the agenda.
All righty. Village clerk, Jody.
I'm going to stick to the agenda, but I have 2 items for Canton Woods. Canton Woods Car Show is Monday, August 14th, 5 to 7:30 at the center. The rain date is August 21st. The public is welcome. Then the next item is the annual Rotary Senior Citizen Summer Picnic, which is indoor. It's held at Canton Woods. It will be Wednesday, August 16th at 4 p.m. Reservations are required, so please call the center at 315-638-4536 to sign up. And that's all.
Very good. That's a nice event. Rotary does a nice job, like they do with everything. We move on now. Let's see who here. Treasurer's not here. Senior Center's taken care of. Public Works, Chuck.
Yeah, in the parks, we're still taking trees down. We got a couple guys in the highway department that are really good at this. They're taking some big trees down. This week we took another 14 trees down from there, and a lot of it's the ash board and dead trees. And they took another 3 or 4 from different spots in the village. We have some more to take down. I'll bet you last week alone we probably saved $25,000 to $30,000 to get trees taken down. So we have some people that are really good at it. They knock them down and load them right in the truck and get them out of there.
That's great.
And that's working really well. Paving's going to start Monday, and we're going to start grinding Monday, and hopefully we'll be paving Thursday or Friday. Some of the roads that they're going to be starting on is Smoky Hollow, Castor Bridge, Artillery Lane in different spots, West Oneida, North Street, Phillips Street, and Parkway. They're putting notices out tomorrow, so we just can't have anybody on the streets because we go down those grinders and first of all, they just can't be there, but if they leave them there and they go around them, they get hit. We ask everybody to not park on the street, and if we get on the street, we'll be asking the police for some help to try to find out whose car it is to get it out of there, because we just gotta get down through there.
They got letters.
They'll be going out tomorrow. The grinding notices will go out tomorrow, and then when they decide whether, because it depends on how far they get, and they may start paving Wednesday, and they're going to start on Smoky Hollow. And if they can start Wednesday, we'll know Tuesday night. We'll put some out Tuesday, and go from there. So we're happy we got them in there because it's all about paver. And if we miss this deadline, it would have been another 2-3 weeks to get them. If we could get them. And last week, between the water and the highway, they fixed like 4 manholes, and they're doing 1 valve tomorrow morning, and it's working out really well. That said, the water department's replacing a water valve on North Street, and so the water's going to be off tomorrow on parts of North, parts of Oneida. If things go well, sometimes we have to go back more valves, and if it does, we're going to be back into Oswego Street and some of that. But we want to get that valve out of there before we pave. Other than that, that's all I got. Those are just questions.
You did mention something to me the other day that it's been nice to see how the highway guys work well with the water guys when they have to work together. I know it wasn't always that way.
Yeah, everybody just, sometimes it's hard to tell what department they're in because they go back and forth. And this week, it was a hot day, and the highway got done one of their catch basins, and the water was up the street, and they just stopped and buckled her in with them and got it done. And we weren't told to do it, and it's working out great. And everybody gets along, and it's nice.
How's our new clerk doing?
Our new clerk is doing very well. Fortunately, Louise is still coming back. We did have some hours for her to come back, and she's there every day or every other day for a few hours, and there's just so much to learn up there. And now we're getting that EPA study that's coming up, that audit. So we have been audited with that since Claude was here. And of course, Louise remembered it and where some of the paperwork is, so we're gonna go start digging some of that out. It's gonna be a 2-day audit, so we're gonna see what they're looking for and how that goes.
Good. Okay, thanks, Chuck.
Yep.
Police, Jason.
Nice to see everybody. Chief just wanted me to make you guys aware, they got a lot of complaints for speeding vehicles. I know it's kind of everywhere, but specifically this one was a little more unique because it was Candlewick, which it's a little different because Candlewick, it's not really a cut through for anywhere like a lot of the other neighborhoods in the village. So you would think that most of the people that are doing these things are residents of Candlewick. So Chief typed up a nice letter and emailed it to all the residents up there. Thought this approach would be a little more effective because, like I said, it is the residents who are primarily doing this. So he sent out a letter to everybody, just letting them know about the complaints, and he's hoping that, by making people aware of it, and, parents can perhaps, bring it to the attention of their young drivers, people will slow down rather than having us go up there and just start writing tickets to residents all day. So he just wrote a letter out to all the residents saying, be cognizant of your speeds, you're in the neighborhood, slow down if you weren't thinking about it, maybe just something to think about. So we'll see how that works out. But other than that, that's all he gave me.
One thing that was pointed out, and I don't enjoy people sharing their complaints on Facebook, I would rather they would call us, so we can, a lot of times we can answer them right away and it stops all the gripping. But somebody did point out that during school, a lot of people drop their kids off at the walk-through down at the court, the circle at Edgewood.
Yeah.
Overbrook, right, thank you. And, a lot of those people are heading to work, and they sense that's when a lot of the speeding happens. Drop the kid off to go to Derby, and then whip out of there and head to work, and just to kind of throw that out as, I didn't know, when school opens, if you had a car over there the first couple mornings, might deter people from doing that, just a thought.
When school opens, we traditionally do post extra people around where the drop-off points are for that specific reason, because it's not foolproof, but usually if people see a cop car hanging out in one spot, they think we're always kind of going to be there. So hopefully in the initial they see it enough, it'll slow down, but that's something I can certainly forward. So.
Okay.
Jason, you speak to where the chief is, Tony? Did he tell you where he was?
I believe I'm not sure.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Your No Shave November, which turned into No Shave 2023.
Yes.
All the money that you guys raised is going to charity, and he's actually presenting that tonight to Maureen's Hope, which I thought was really cool.
Pretty sure that's what it was, because I sent 2 other guys to go over there with him, but I wanted to make sure I was naming the right thing before I said it out loud on camera. So thanks for the assistance.
I'm sure they appreciate that. That's cool that you guys did that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Do we know how much you raised?
Probably
I believe it was around $600. So.
Nice.
How did you raise it? How does it raise money? You guys had to pay them to shave?
You pretty much. It was always an idea. So in police departments traditionally, it started several years ago with other departments where they would allow them to not shave or women to have ponytails if they made a donation to certain cancer charities and whatnot, because obviously we can't exactly participate in the grow your hair out and donate it kind of thing. So this is kind of what police departments and a lot of fire departments started doing. So we got into that this year and then kind of evolved into what it is. So I'm assuming it's going to be a yearly occurrence. So
That's nice. Very good. Thank you. No pending business. We'll move on to new business. Eric, you want to make that motion? Explain the details.
Sure. Just making a motion to reject the 4I bids. We had 2 that came in too high. Does that work, Bob?
Right, yeah.
Joey's got it
I got the word.
Yeah, the wording there.
I'll second it, John.
Substantially higher than anticipated, and then needs to be re-advertised and rebid.
So that's the motion, and you seconded it, Nate?
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any other business that anybody would like to bring forward before we pay bills and exit? All right, can I get a motion to pay bills as well?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? See, I don't offer anybody a chance to say no, I'm paying bills. What do we got for time? Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:50?
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
And then flip-flops.